the 38th episode of Directly to You. That's right, the 38th entry of our now weekly podcast here on youtube.com/directly to you. That's right. Channel name change. It's not this long, complicated thing. It's not such a singular thing because we plan to add more content to that channel, or rather this channel. And you can find this podcast on SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, and anywhere else podcast services are available. There's so many. And also, you guys can donate to the podcast because we have the listener support program, and you guys can own it anywhere between $1 to $10. You guys can do that. Don't feel like you have to, but it would greatly be appreciated. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes.
And
hi, hello.
What's up? What's up?
I'm keeping it on the roll, you know. I'm just going to be quiet when you do these intros.
It's going to be like the 40th episode. You're like, hey, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Like just letting you get all the information out.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
So that, you know what? I don't think I put it on the document, but let's start here with what we've been playing. You been playing anything?
I'm going to play My Hero Academia.
Is that it?
I tried to play it this morning, but like early this morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning. But I was like, for whatever reason, the eShop was like, oh, we're checking to see if this is available. It's not available. I was like, what?
Oh, wow. The eShop doesn't. Not every game updates at midnight, and I guess that's like, low priority for them.
Yeah, they were like, it's like a slew of them, though, like a bunch of. I guess just today, these games that come out, there's like, a little later. I was like, oh, yeah. Dang it. So then I had to work. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna get back, and then it's gonna be available. I think I play like a match or so too, but I like it so far.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the chance to play it yet. Bandai is sending it in the mail. The perils of physical media. But I have been playing Red Dead, which was like when everybody was like, "Are you gonna get My Hero or Red Dead?" I was like, "Well, I feel like because of what we do, I can get My Hero most likely through making content about it, but I can't do that with Red Dead. I can't go to Rockstar and be like, hey, I know I don't talk about any of the platforms that your game is on, but send it to me, It's like, so I knew I was going to have to buy that to be able to experience it, and I knew that it was going to be like a watercolor moment, where everybody's talking about the game. Plus, it looked interesting. A lot of the stuff that I liked about Breath of the Wild is in this game, so that really made me want to jump into it. It's no Breath of the Wild. I'm not that far in. I'm like 3-4 hours into it, but it's not that on a gameplay level. Like I would say on a systems level and a like character level and on like open world.
Yeah, detail. Yeah, right.
Whatever, right.
Attention to detail, all that kind of stuff.
I would say it surpasses Breath of the Wild in a lot of ways, but as far as like gameplay, like like the like visceral feeling of just like playing the game, it's not on the same level. I would say a lot of places, and this goes for like GTA too, honestly, where they kind of just try to hit the like a middle ground for everything because they do so much. So it's like as long as we do all of this well, we don't have to do any of it better than everybody else. Because nobody else is going to attempt to do all the things that we do, right? Like they're not going to cram like a full-on fishing game into their game, but fishing's in the game. Same thing with tennis or golf or whatever is in GTA, like all that stuff.
Right.
They're going to make sure that the tenets of the game are solid. Like I would say the driving in Grand Theft Auto, because Grand Theft Auto cars, that's solid. That's probably the thing that's like, this is better than everybody, except for racing games, obviously, but you know what I'm saying, like driving around in open worlds and stuff like that, GTA does it best. But aside from that, they're like jack of all trades sort of situation, and I feel like that's where this game's at for me right now. There's a lot of like weird fumbling going on because it's like it wants to be like tactile, like how Breath of the Wild is kind of tactile, where it's like, oh, you don't cook by selecting your thing in the menu. You can just put all that stuff in your hand and drop it into the pot, like that sort of thing. Right. And getting the hang of that in like a less cartoony like fashion and like a like the
more realistic type of
it's a different beast. So it's like it's taking me a while to like for that to be natural. I definitely look forward to playing that myself. It's just that it's one of those things where it's like I'm definitely going to get it, but
as far as like when I have time to actually sit down, like sit with it and like really enjoy. I feel like right now I'm like like I'm definitely gonna, because it looks like it's gonna be one of those games like you said, it's gonna be the talk for a while, and it's definitely something that's interesting. I enjoyed the first one, and this is just gonna be it looks to be even better. So
see, that's the thing that's weird though, because I played minutes of the first one on Xbox One, on the what's it called, Game Pass. I had the trial of Game Pass, and I played a little bit of it then, but I never really got a chance to play through the game, because back then I didn't play games as much as I do now, and now
right.
I don't play games as much as I did right before we started this channel. So it's it was a weird period where in early high school or late middle school, I don't know. No, early to late high school is when Red Dead came out. When did it come out? 2011?
2010.
Yeah, so that was mid high school. So around that time, I wasn't really big on playing games, and if I was playing a game, I was playing a handheld thing like Pokemon or Smash Bros.
Right.
But it wasn't anything like that.
Right, and yeah, that's the thing, and especially a game of this scale. It's just such a big. I think it's how many hours dedicated to this is such an open game. So I'm just man, it seems it's definitely gonna be fun. But I'm just until I have time to actually sit and actually take time with it, because it's not something you can just pick up and just I'm gonna just fiddle around for a little bit and then get off. It's but I feel like My Hero's more of that type of thing.
Yeah,
I can experience this, and
I'm
leisurely.
trying to do what I did with Spider-Man, where I just every bit of free time that I have, which is typically not that much unless I'm I'm not sleeping at all, that. That's yeah. I'm going to play this game, because there's nothing as far as Switch coming out until Pokemon. So it's between now and Pokemon that I'm playing this game, and then after Pokemon comes out, I'll probably never touch it again until Red Dead Online or whatever.
Right.
And I'll look for a pocket in time for that. But that's what I try to do. I try to play the huge not third party, but multi-platform releases in the pockets of when nothing really big is happening on Switch. But speaking of things that are happening on Switch, there was this rumor.
Or things that could have happened on Switch.
Yeah. But I'm more so talking about the conversation around it. And it's so weird how people act about, and I mean to fully present what I'm talking about, the Grinch Smash Brothers quote unquote leak, where they were oh, Banjo's going to be in the game. Basically,
Shadow
all the characters that people are these are definitely going to be in the game.
Mm-hmm.
The people that, if they were announced, we'd be excited, but wouldn't be where did that come from?
Right.
People have been theorizing that they would be in the game for forever.
Basically, the Dark Samuses of the the leaks.
Yeah,
that kind of reaction.
Samuses, the Mewtwo's, even
right.
The stuff that at one point in time they're maybe we'll put them in there, and it just didn't happen. But yeah, there was a contingent of people that are okay, this is fake. The people that actually looked at the situation, where it's all right, clearly stuff's not adding up here. And then there's another contingent of people that want it to be true, so they're fighting tooth and nail for it. And they're and I feel that happens so much with rumors, where for the most part, people that want to believe it, even if it ends up being true, the main reason why they believe it is because they want it to be true.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Rather than
exactly.
a thing of, I surveyed the situation and this lines up with this, so therefore I think it's pretty plausible. Whereas a lot of people are say today I was I think Metroid Prime is going to come out right before Christmas. They're just going to announce it a week before. Everybody that wants Metroid as soon as possible is going to yeah, man. Exactly. I hope that happens, blah, blah, blah. And then, if it gets picked up by anybody that's even nearly notable, if I don't know, if Kotaku or something like that posts YouTuber says blah, blah, blah. They're oh, it's real now. It's real now, because I want it to be.
You see that on Eurogamer. People are what? You freaking, it'll grow a life of its own, and freaking have that.
The Marcus Sellers dude. Anything that he tweets has a part of that fan base behind it. There's a lot of people that are like, all right, man, like, for all intents and purposes, Marcus Sellers does what we do in tweet form, where he's like, this would be cool, but the difference is he's making up these things that's like, this would be cool, or this makes sense because this, and this, and presenting it as fact. Saying, this is for sure happening, I have sources that, it would be like me saying in my 2018 Switch video, I have sources that say that 2018 is going to be blah, like...
Yeah.
No, they're just educated guesses. It's, hey, this company said this, and this, and they're now saying this about the Switch, and blah, blah, blah. So, therefore, I think not like, oh, it's beyond a shadow of a doubt true. Because I have sources. And I'm an industry insider.
I have sources. That's the funniest thing. You know, like, when someone says that, like, it's just like, okay, you really have nobody. You're just throwing it out there. But at the end of the day, it ended up being the long and short of it. These are not. They're fake.
Yeah.
I actually want to read the statement that was with the Marina team. The team that.
Yeah, there was. It's a PR company. I mean, a printing company. A printing company that at one point in time worked with Bandai Namco. On like printing things for their marketing of games.
Naturally.
And they haven't worked with them since 2016, which would be beyond the like scope of this project. Like, they're not printing things right when. Like, I think the accepted like idea right now is that this game started in like late 2015, maybe early 2016. They're not printing out marketing materials when the game just started development. That's not happening. That's like final stretch. That's like last couple months that they're doing that stuff. So that didn't line up. But yeah, read the statement.
Rumor. They're going to say, Marina team's going to say, rumors of privacy leak on the latest version of Super Smash Bros. Game report a link to our company. All these rumors only support one idea. Journalism is not limited to searching Google. Indeed, the person involved with this rumor, if so, was no longer present in our company since November 2016, which has not put its LinkedIn profile up to date. Some wanted to make a reapproachment with the Marina workshops that cannot exist. Namco is a company we have worked with and with which we want to work with again. This is not the case currently for the launch of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. These rumors are therefore discrediting our widely recognized professionalism, particularly with regard to our confidentiality commitments. We are now contacting all the sites with Namco and Nintendo to remove these false information and evaluate the judicial suits to be given. So they're taking action on,
they're distancing themselves hard.
Right.
Because it's like,
and they're like,
no, like, we didn't do this. Yes, we employed this dude, but
he hasn't worked with us since He hasn't worked with us since this date. Freaking given the hard facts. It's like, we want to work with him again. We haven't for a long time, like you said, and
it's like, look, you're not messing up our chance to work on the next Smash Brothers. Like, we're going to like nip this in the bud right here and now.
Yeah, that's good move by them. They acted swift. Like, hey, let's freaking cut this off.
Yeah, the
they acted swift, and that was good.
Rumor was so weird, because again, like, when I first saw it, like when everybody was like reporting on it, like, oh, this is a thing, the Grinch leak. Like, a lot of people were really like heavy behind this because, again, like I said, like, they wanted to believe it. So it's like you saw people like attacking people that didn't buy it, where it's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, clearly, blah blah, you're stupid, all this stuff that happens when people's fragile opinions are hurt. So like after seeing that, like it's weird because it's like everybody kind of receded. There was no like, oh well, man, I was wrong on that. It's just like, whatever, like, I'm going to do it again. I'm not going to like sit here and act like I'm not. Like,
yeah,
I want it to happen, and because I want it to happen, I'm going to be mad that you're saying it won't.
Yeah, these And I think the reason why, like you said, it's a lot of people having that want and to believe something. Like, oh, this is, we want this so badly. But a lot of it at the same time is like, these were like rumors, but they're like safe. These are things that weren't out of the realm of possibility. People, like you said, people were kind of expecting these if they were to be a thing. So that kind of gave like...
That's another thing that's like, that kind of lends credence to it a little bit.
I was just going to say, yeah, exactly, right.
Where it's like, you don't right off the bat write it off because they didn't say Goku's going to be in the game. And,
exactly. It's not a reach. As like a Naruto. We'd be like, psh.
Right.
But a Shadow and a Banjo, that's like, okay, those are more like me personally. I've been talking about Shadow might be a character in this game, and Banjo Kazooie, people have been claiming for that. So I was like, I was like, even me, I was like, okay, I was like, okay, well, no. But it doesn't surprise me that these are.
It's the same thing with like the E3 leaks, right? Where it's like, okay, we know that like the best E3 ever is when they have Mario and Zelda and Pokemon and Metroid.
Right.
Like, so those are always in those leaks. And then it's like a couple of the games that we know about sprinkled in there, and then some like like other pretty safe things where it's like, oh, the third parties, they like Switch, maybe they'll port GTA 5, stuff like that.
Right, exactly. They pad it out with these things that are freaking believable, or the things that people were like, okay, we'll eat this up.
It's rare that we see somebody like throw something completely original into these leaks, right? Like, and when somebody did, people don't even pay attention to it. That leak doesn't even get reported.
Exactly.
But somebody leaked the Switch presentation in the launch window lineup for the game, and ARMS was on there. Nobody looked at ARMS and said like, ARMS, yeah, that makes sense. That's a Nintendo game that I can see being released, because like that's just like nobody can guess that,
Right.
Those are the type of leaks that I think usually are, to me, more believable than the ones that's like a whole bunch of like safe bets. Like, if you put ARMS on there, like, what?
Yeah. True. Like, look, who's gonna pull that out of anywhere, like out of nowhere, just to freaking fill this like leak?
Because even when it's out, people are like, they picked that name. Like beforehand, people are going like, they wouldn't pick that name.
And then you have the Yoshi flipper.
Yoshi's flipping out. Yoshi flipped me off. Yoshi flipped
the bird. Yeah, right. It's like, okay,
all that stuff.
Exactly. So yeah, there's a lot of freaking fake games that get reported on as far as rumors. But we talk a lot about games that aren't real.
Let us know in the comments. Were you stupid? Did you believe it?
But we talk about a lot of games that are fake or things that we would like to be real. And you gave some really good ideas for where Pokemon can go after Let's Go. And the one, I gotta tell you, the one that I like, that stuck out the most to me was the Pokemon Ranger aspect. And I know it's gonna sound shocking, but I've never played one of those games before. So I think that would be a good way for me to enter into that kind of realm with Pokemon. I haven't. Do you have any experience with Pokemon Ranger?
Yes.
Have you played those?
Yes.
Dumb question, I know, but I just wanted to.
Of course, I have.
What is your?
I played every game on this list. Matter of fact, this was like one of those Christmases that I was like, that my dad was like, just write everything down and give me the piece of paper. And I was like, I'm putting every Pokemon spin-off on the DS on there. So it's like I got Dash at the same time. And, I think Troze was out at the time. Rangers. I think 2 Rangers was out by then. Both of the Ranger games that were on DS were out by then. So yeah, I remember liking it a lot. It doesn't hold up. In like on the whole, there's a lot of like stuff that's wrong with it, but there's fun ideas in that game. And like I said in the video, like the mechanic of like, oh, I have a combustion, so combustion is able to burn down this amount of wood that's in my way or whatever, right? Like as they evolve, their ability to clear obstacles levels up, and it's not tied to a move that they have, it's tied to their type. So it's like, oh, there's a fire in the way, I need a water type. And then there's wood, I need to burn the wood down, or what have you. Like, oh, there's a tree in the way, I need a grass type to use cut or whatever. I think that's a better way, and they've since remedied the whole HM thing. to an extent. But even then, it was like it's through Pokemon that aren't yours, and it's like why? Like why do I need a Machamp to carry me or whatever when I have any other number of Pokemon that can do the same thing in my own party?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't need yours. I can use mine. They're highly capable of doing the job. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. Like how dare you, sir, think that my very own Machamp can't carry me like this Machamp can?
Like, it can't because you didn't raise it right, and mine is freaking awesome. And it even has personality because I gave it a red scarf, and I don't know. I'm going with that.
Yeah. I can never run out of ideas for Pokemon. Like I could seriously make a Pokemon video every week. I could make 2 Pokemon videos every week.
For your next video, you do is like a hour-long analysis, deep dive.
I'm gonna step away from Pokemon for a little bit. I wanted to get my feet wet for Let's Go, and then once that comes out, more Pokemon videos on the way.
I was gonna say it's been a while. It's been like like before this, I think it was like 2 months, a 2-month break.
It's been a long time since my last Pokemon video.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I don't even remember what it was. Oh, I think it was the was it the concept one? The Sinnoh concept?
Yeah. That was the one you and Dan worked on, right? Or
me and Dan? No, not me and Dan. Me and Justin.
I mean, you mean Justin. Why I confused? I don't know. I have no clue. I haven't
made a video with Dan in a long time, but that's changing because we got shared Nintendo brand ambassador powers. So
that's right.
Expect those. Subscribe.
Shout out to That Cyber channel. Subscribe to that. Check it out.
That Cyber.
Awesome guy.
YouTube.com/Game Theory.
Yeah, right. Awesome guy. Let's see what you guys have to say about AJ's video this week. Had a lot of thoughts here. First, Michael Mulligan says, combine Pokemon Ranger, Coordinator, and Trainer into the mainline game, and for the first time ever have a party system of other trainers. Well, I like that. Your Ranger will learn the basic HM moves, and as they progress, learn more advanced techniques to get to more advanced places, items, goals, etc. They and their Pokemon will be more action-focused with battles between other Rangers being races, platforming challenges, scavenger hunts, things like that. Certain Pokemon would be better suited to this type of gameplay than others. Their Pokemon tend to learn more field-based moves and don't focus much on damage-dealing techniques. The Coordinator will focus on non-damaging dealing techniques as well, focusing more on the stats affecting techniques. The Trainer will be able to interact with the other NPCs in the contest world that your other 2 characters can't, which will lead to new areas, items, etc., etc. Finally, the main Trainer, who will follow the standard 8 badges. You can choose to focus on all 3 quests, only 1 quest, or whatever the hell you want. The evil team will be on a separate quest from the main 3, as well as a few other side quests and things like that. Your goal is to become the top Trainer, Ranger, Coordinator in the region, which leads to post-game challenges. Each trainer can catch up to 6 Pokemon each for a total of 18 for you to manage. However, you'll be training 6 to battle, 6 to range, and 6 to dance. So it won't be repetitive or difficult to manage that many Pokemon. Great idea with a lot of diversity.
Yeah, I like this at face value. But once you look at it deeper, I think there's a lot of unnecessary like limitations. Where it's like if you look at a Pokemon contest, they use a lot of damaging attacks, but it's just like they use them in a different way to make them look good.
Oh yeah, I've seen many a bubble beam used in a creative like make this I don't know like
yeah exactly like
style, but
bubble beam and then hit it with ice beam and then do like double kick.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Type of crap.
That's true. That's
no
very good
Pokemon
point.
knows that like combination of attacks, by the way, but yes. Along those lines. And as far as like the Rangers go, again, yes, I agree with that. But another thing is like, I don't know, like when I thought of this, it was less of like a GTA 5 single player thing and more of like a GTA Online sort of situation. It seems like this is what he's describing, where it's like you're one trainer on one game and you control all of these people. And I was more so saying like you like in your main game, you have the option to do all of this, like you can just, it's like a skill tree sort of situation. It's like, I'm going to focus on being a trainer. I'm going to get my 8 badges that's what I'm going to do. And then when I play with you and you're more so focusing on being a coordinator or whatever, right? But when we play together, we swap, because it's like, well, there's no reason to like continue to try to do this in your game and not continue with that progress. I'm going to like make progress in my other quest. Right.
So
it gives you a reason to do everything, but just not like jumping around on your game if you don't necessarily want to do that.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best route to go. That makes the most sense. I just need to happen, because
as far as like training the like 3 different Pokemon that perform these tasks, I mean, it's along the same lines of like what I said the first time, but I don't think that's necessary either. Where it's just like it would probably make them like the best at their individual thing, right? Like when you're in contest, the same like group of attacks that would be best in that aren't necessarily the same 4 attacks that would be best in a battle. But I think that with a different format for both battling and contest, that's less like by the numbers, you press this attack, it does this, and more of like you actually have them do the attack, or like from different areas of the field, or you know, like different stuff like that, more agency in it. I think that you would be able to make really any attack work in any arena outside of like stuff like, obviously double team's not going to one-hit KO anybody for any reason. Well, actually, that's not even necessarily true, because you could do double team and then have somebody KO themselves by running into like a tree or something like that. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to do the same exact thing as like a Fire Blast would. Like, it would be an indirect KO versus like a KO like head on.
Yeah. But I think I just want that'd be so awesome.
Yeah,
Nintendo, and now Matt's not.
Let me make a Pokemon game.
Exactly.
Just let me do it. One day.
Parklark says, "Okay, so these ideas are awesome. I think as a strong fan of most video game series, the end goal is to what? Ostensibly.
Okay. It's like more or less do.
Okay. I think a stronger fan of the series, the end goal is to ostensibly to make you feel like you can be the character you're playing as, and getting to experience the world they're inhabiting as they should. A COD player is did he really just? Anyway, a COD player is wanting a full experience of war without actual danger. A Zelda player wants to inhabit Hyrule and enter vast dungeons, although we miss toilets. And a Pokemon player wants to experience the world of Pokemon the way Ash, Misty, and Brock get to. Obviously, that's a generalization, but the key aspect is that the Pokemon anime paints a picture of a vast world of Pokemon and their trainers, and lots of people want to feel like they can be in that world as much as possible. But that looks different for a lot of different people. Janky as Pokemon Snap is, it captured a bit of what it is to be Tracy, and that exactly what TPC should capitalize on. Your ideas for Pokemon racing game is fantastic, because it would capture Season 1, Episode 33. A Pokemon breeding game would capture some Brock aspirations. And show even Nurse Joy game could be a cool spinoff.
That'd be dope.
Run a Pokemon hospital or something like that. That'd be cool. I could picture that being like a...
I did mention something about being a doctor.
That'd be awesome. Instead of doing a lot of spinoffs, I think your idea for MMORPG is by far the most economical way to do this. You could be a trainer, breeder, ranger, racer, etc. I mean, you said it better than I did. I think what Nintendo doesn't understand is how much fans want to get a full experience of these worlds they've teased for years. They've teased this even further with Pokemon Go, and it kind of worked, but it was like how the Wii U sales, the Wii U was a mirage of what the Switch would eventually be, just not good enough. I've got more thoughts, but I rambled enough. I wish that there was a way to show TPC we want this.
Tweet them. Tweet the video at them. Tweet it at Nintendo. Tweet it at Pokemon on Twitter. I mean, obviously, I agree.
Right, I was going to say he's right, yeah.
My points. But the sticking point that I have with this is, I don't think that them jumping straight into something this big would be more economical. Just because, for one, they're not really good at doing any of this yet. But if they're able to work their way up and say, okay, we're making a game that's just focusing on a game that's like this, and then they take what they learned from there and then take that into the next thing. It's kind of like building a cinematic universe, right? Like Marvel couldn't just wake up one day and say, okay, Avengers Infinity War, that's our first movie ever, right? Like they had to build up to that. And that's kind of like my mindset on how I think that them working up to an MMORPG should work, where it's like they have the pieces and they're building it around itself, where it's like, okay, we built this game and it's in our version of Kanto, and we're going to keep the geography for this for Kanto, and then implement that into the big game later on. Where it's like, and they're basically bankrolling the big game through their smaller, like, you know, games, and both that they're creating the assets, but they're also getting paid the sales for, or whatever the sales generate for those individual games.
Right, exactly, and it just lead to a much bigger product at the end of the day when all these things culminate into this bigger experience.
Yeah,
and it'll be just freaking awesome.
It's kind of like the whole, like, the razor blade, like, model of, like, okay, we might lose money for the first game or whatever, but eventually it's going to pay off once everybody has this, you know?
Right.
Sort of along those lines of, like, the big money move is not going to be the first game they put out. They're going to make money on it, but it's not going to be their Avengers.
Right. It's just an investment. Just an investment for the future. AMP says a Pokemon Bank style video game and how you can transfer Pokemon from any game to it. But it's a Pokemon zoo you can populate yourself, where you can explore the world, see them in the natural habitat, and observe their behavior, which can even be affected by population size and male to female ratio, and put a bunch of mini games in it, and add a camera, so now it's a new Pokemon Snap 2. Hey!
So he's saying, like, he wants, like, you ever see that, there was a Wii channel, or what is WiiWare? There was a WiiWare game called, I think it was called Pokemon Ranch, and you can import your DS Pokemon.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, I do.
Wow. So he's saying he wants that combined with, like, a Zoo Tycoon, combined with, like, a Pokemon Snap.
So that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be cool. I'd be down for that.
Cool.
Make it a small thing, though. I'm not paying $60 for that.
I forgot about freaking Pokemon Ranch, by the way. Completely forgot about that. But yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Nothing I would do well. Vincent Allen says, I'd want an open world style game that resembles Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in the sense that Pokemon levels vary in each area. I want to be able to level up my trainer and have different classes like you said in your video, although this will never happen. I believe they said happy. But I like the ability to catch all Pokemon in one game. I've already completed my decks for the most part, but I would be nice to be able to catch them all again if I really wanted to. First of all, congratulations on you completing your decks. It's awesome. And as far as, I don't know, I think, well, in the sense of Pokemon, that'd be kind of cool. But in Xenoblade, I never like that. It's like, okay, I'm in this open world, and
I love that.
Well, as far as like this, like the different levels, and as far as like, because I ran into that problem so many times in that game in particular.
The reason why I like that is because it's another challenge on top of it. You know, it makes traversal more than just something that you need to do to get from point A to point B. It's another part of the puzzle where it's like, all right, I gotta be able to level up, so I had to avoid these high.
Right. I don't want to go here. Like there was like, it's called the immovable something, like it was like on the field.
Are you talking about the monkey looking dude?
Yeah. level 99. I was level 16. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I still went over and fought him though, because I'm a freaking.
And I mean that does the same thing as like you saw like Eagle Raptor's video about Mega Man.
Yeah. Mega Man.
It has that effect, right? Where it's like the first time you ever encounter this thing, it's terrifying, but eventually you come back and you're like, yeah, what's up? You know, like it has like that effect at the same.
I mean, I guess when you put it like that, that is cool. Like how it's like it shows like, you know, your own like little bit of your own character growth. Like literally, you know, you were scared in the beginning, you come back, eat your Wheaties, and now you're freaking take toe to toe with this guy.
And on some level, I think it shouldn't be like, okay, you have Pidgeys in this world, and then you also have Raikou. You know,
I was gonna say, right, exactly.
Not like that,
say,
but like stuff that would be believable. You know, like there's Pidgeys in this part of like the biome or whatever, and there's also Pidgeots. Because like, they have parents.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that would be so stupid. I see a Pidgey over here, then I see a freaking Giratina.
Yeah,
it's just like, but the Giratina's like level 70. I'm like, no, I'm not ready for that. I'm level 5.
Yeah.
And,
like they shouldn't. I don't think they should do it like that. But it's just like stuff that you would expect to be the case. You know, like if you saw it in game as just like a bystander of the Pokemon world, you know, like you know enough about it, but you don't know how the games work intrinsically. So it's like it's not weird that like, oh, why is there Eradicate in this cave or whatever? There should only be this Pokemon. It would make sense to you that it's like, well, duh, a Rattata is in the same place that you can find Eradicate. Duh. Of course, you would be able to find a Phanpy in the same places you find, which they already kind of do that with.
Yeah, Phanpy, I think, you know, now that's like the more we speak on it, I think that is something that should be incorporated in Pokemon going forward. Just having these different levels, and you know, I understand like as far as like how the early games did it, as far as like, okay, you're not ready for that yet, but I mean having it and like in this way, it just make a lot of sense, because like in the actual in the actual world of Pokemon, like as far as like the anime and things like that, like it's like they're not protected by these boundaries of being like, Ash isn't ready for that yet. You know,
they get chased away by Pokemon that they can't beat all the time.
he saw a freaking Ho-Oh in like the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So it's like that's very true. That's very true. I like it. See, now I'm mad. That'd be freaking awesome. Speaking of what would be awesome, if Pikmin 4 was going to be announced for the Switch.
First and foremost, I like the format of this video. I like how you played with it and you did a lot of like interrupts in it. It wasn't just like a straight through situation, and like even the on cam thing was kind of random. I'm gonna put my creator hat on at the same time on that. Well, the whole thing was a creator thing, you know. It wasn't like really like the idea of Pikmin. I'm talking about the creation of your video.
Thank you.
As far as like a critique that I would have is like on the bit with the camera, you took way too long putting us back into the camera. You gotta immediately do that. But on the topic of the actual video.
Thank you, by the way.
Yes, I was gonna make this same video about Pikmin 4. Like, where is it at? The only thing that I would say in terms of like differently in terms of like where Pikmin 4 may be is that I think the game is done, and I think that they're probably tinkering with it, you know, here and there, where it's like, oh yeah, like we're adding polish to this game, but I don't think they're holding it for any other reason than timing. Of like, okay, we need the same reason why I think Yoshi's Woolly World got pushed back as far as it did, right? I think that the biggest reason why that game got pushed back is because they have other stuff in their holiday that is a way bigger deal than Yoshi, and it's kind of compatible in the same way,
right?
Because Nintendo doesn't really have any problems with stacking releases. Like, we've had times where they put out a Pokemon game and a Mario game at the same time, but those aren't the same exact audiences. So they usually try to do something like, oh, Zelda's coming out, well, we can put Pokemon out too. You know, Animal Crossing's coming out, we can put Metroid out too.
Right.
You know,
these two, they won't interfere with one another. You know, they're not going to step on each other's toes, and you know, they're going to be independent of each other.
It's from a fan that's so dedicated that they'll buy both, or it's from like two different fan bases that don't really intermingle.
Right. So as far as like your stamp, you think 2019?
I think 2019 might be too crowded, honestly. Just based on what we know already.
Yeah, we have a lot coming. We have a lot coming.
I could see 2019. Like, I wouldn't be shocked. But just looking at the slate that we have and like how I think about what I'm going to play, because for the most part, like if Nintendo announces a game, I'm probably going to play it. Like I that's why I like Nintendo so much, because I just so happen to like pretty much all of their franchises with few exceptions. So from my viewpoint, there's more than enough for me to play. There's too much. But I can understand from the viewpoint of like the general public of like the same people that are disappointed by this year that like are super selective and they maybe buy 4 games a year or whatever, right? I can understand that they probably want to like jam pack their year for those people. Because they might not like Animal Crossing, but they might like Pikmin 4, you know?
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I guess, like I said, only time will tell, honestly. But we'll see. And I'm sure it'll be critically acclaimed as well. Because, like, these games do so well. And it's really weird to me.
They don't sell well.
Yeah, they don't sell well. But as far as, like, the quality, people are like, I love these freaking things, you know?
Yeah.
So I just want that. I want that series to finally get its, like, fair shot as far as, like, these games are liked. And now the sales need to reflect this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's a thing of like you wish as like a fan of like a super like niche thing like that. That it's like, man, I wish I could just like transfer it into your brain how much I like this game, so that it could perform like I think it should, just based on how I like it.
Well, actually, because I hate you and I don't want to give you any credit for anything. I think one of the earlier Actually, one of the early exposures, I didn't put this in the video, but actually one of the early exposures too, because you had Pikmin 3.
Yeah.
So that was one of the actually early exposures for, as well as for my, I was like, oh, Pikmin, this is cool. This is cool. I remember playing it at your house.
As are a lot of things that you end up liking. Like, hey, Logan, you'll like this. And then you're like, I don't know if I'm going to like that. And like, no, like, you'll like this.
He's like, you know, based on, you know, being your friend for a long time and knowing you, I know that you like, I don't know. I'm not sure. That's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, and I'm like, no, Logan, I know for a fact you're going to like this game. People don't believe me, man. I did the same thing with Bob. I was like, hey, Bob, Celeste, you're going to like it. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, no, Bob, you're going to like this game. And he played it. He's like, yo, this game is so dope. I'm like, I told you. I wanted to throw everything across the room.
That must be so frustrating to deal with a lot.
Those are like, and I'm usually
I'm
like,
sick of it.
I didn't make a video after the 2018 video of like, look at how much stuff that I called, you know, like I'm not usually that type of person, but in this area where I had to fight you to try a thing, that makes me like, I freaking told you, you know?
Yeah, right. And somebody else
told you to help you.
And somebody else told me, Ashley, which welcome back to the comments. Actually, I've seen Ashley.
Ashley's dedicated, fam. She's a hashtag channel.
We love Ashley. Thank you, Ashley. We love you. I haven't seen Ashley back. Like she hasn't commented. I haven't seen her comment on one of my videos for a while.
Yo, Ashley. Sometimes she just wants to lurk. You know,
right. Well, welcome back, Ashley. I know that you've probably been here, but you know, welcome back to the comments of my video anyway. She goes on to say, the first Pikmin was my favorite, simply because it was something so incredibly different. I loved my GameCube. That along with the 64 were how I spent my childhood. I enjoyed
sorry.
About
the N64.
Oh my god. I enjoyed the limited time frame. It gave a unique replay factor to grab new items or try to 100% it in that time frame, or trying to beat it with losing as little Pikmin as possible. This may be just my nostalgia, but I've replayed it since and still believe it holds up. No, I think these games are of quality, and they definitely do. Also, the yellow Pikmin is effing adorable. I like
how you added a curse word in one of the comments, and that was fine. But when you're saying effing, it's like you're trying to hide that you're saying it. You're like, effing. Continue.
Try to censor the censor. I love the big ears and the bright color. As much as I want Pikmin to release in 2019, I really do think it will be overshadowed by other mainline games. I could see Nintendo reintroducing the franchise and introducing new players by a possible mobile game before they announce the game itself. Much like how they did Animal Crossing, perhaps in late 2019 or early 2020. No matter when it releases, I do think it'll be worth the wait. Great vid as usual, guys. Keep it up, smiley face. Thank you so much for that. And I mean, that'd be good. I wouldn't think that'd be a bad idea as far as like the mobile aspect, because I feel like that would be a game that would. This franchise would be it lends itself to that kind of gameplay anyways, you know, like the whole like press and, you know, click and point type of thing as far as like the for mobile and tap, you know, thing that like following the Pikmin, and you know, I think that'd be cool. I'd get that.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, a lot of Nintendo's games I think would work well on mobile, which is why everybody was fighting them for it for so long, where it's like, just put them on mobile. Like, just do it.
Yeah, that would.
And they finally did it.
Yeah, I am not going to pronounce his next name. L8RG8R2U. 2020 seems like a good.
Later Gator 2.
Huh?
You. Later Gator to you.
Oh, later. Oh my goodness. Okay. There you go. 2020 seems like a good time for Pikmin 4. There's already so much coming next year that I think Pikmin game could get lost in the crowd. Maybe Nintendo, a lot of you guys are echoing the same thoughts here. That's actually very true. Maybe Nintendo could release a Pikmin 3 port for the Switch next year to keep the fans busy. My favorite Pikmin is the Winged. They're so adorable, and they're flying into some really neat strategies for the games. And Pikmin 3 is my favorite in the series.
See, that's another thing. I wonder if they're gonna, like, in Pikmin 4, if they're gonna introduce any, like, crazy new ones. Because, like, what would they even do? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Like, I don't think there's a Pikmin that can, like, burrow underground. Maybe that's the next.
Yeah, they definitely need to, as far as like just to keep up with the trend, because like the Pikmin 2 they introduced new ones, and then Pikmin 3 the rock, and you know it's like you owe it to us.
Yeah.
You owe it to, huh?
The rock and the flying.
Yeah, right. You owe it to us. You gotta give us it. You got to.
Yeah, keep up the trend.
Yeah, right. So yeah, unfortunately, 2019, like you said, there's a lot coming out, and
Pikmin 4 is going to be one giant Pikmin controller.
I mean, Fire Emblem alone. All right, guys. Okay, Fire Emblem 3 Houses alone is gonna. I don't even know why I'm saying that. Like I'm not gonna play that game and play the crap out of it. But
see, I don't know if I'm gonna play that.
What?
I might. I don't know.
Yeah, come on. Then we're gonna get the Fire Emblem DLC character for Smash Ultimate. I already know how it's gonna play out.
Oh my god.
No, hashtag no more Fire Emblem characters.
But Nintendo, go ahead and provide, and I'll send it to Logan.
There we
Because
go.
he cares about that game way more than I do.
There we go. Jockstrix? I don't know.
Tricks. I don't know.
I think I think we need to account for all the games handled by Nintendo's IP staff. What? Yeah, first party. Sorry. Oh my, IP staff. First party staff. Zelda, Fire Emblem, Pokemon, Smash Bros, Animal Crossing, and various other games that they are developing. They don't have infinite resources, and it makes sense that they would hold out on this game. Resources are finite and need to get the max amount of profit from these hard hitters. The difference is Nintendo doesn't give up on franchises and doesn't milk franchises like Activision. Oh, shots fired! They build completely and thoroughly, resulting in the much longer development cycle. Also, they don't want to overhype games, which is better to be shut up and announce it when it's ready than to announce it before it's ready and be drowned out by the insurmountable hype. Ooh, that sounds like some Sony shots right there. Anyway, I mean, that's just my interpretation. Not to say all their games are great in all areas, i.e. Mario Party.
How dare you?
For what on which segment?
What he just said about Mario Party. Yes and no. I don't think that it's a issue of resources necessarily. I think that Nintendo just approaches a lot of their games in the same way that Disney approaches their business, where it's like they want to make you miss it in a lot of ways. Unless it's just that successful. Like, they're not going to make you miss Pokemon. That's not happening. They're making you
right,
miss Mario.
Exactly. Well, by the looks of it, they're going to make us miss Smash. They're going to make us miss Smash, bro.
Smash is right here.
Huh?
Smash is right here.
Well, no, I mean, as far as, like, after this one. They're going to be like, okay, we're not giving you another Smash for like 15 years. Like, no.
I don't know about that. I think that it's going to be the same thing because it's always the same cycle. It's always this whole thing of like, I don't know if we're going to do another Smash Brothers, guys. So savor this one. And then it's like the minute the next console is announced, it's like, duh, Smash Brothers is happening.
Yeah.
Literally since post Melee, every console announcement has been like anchored by a Smash Brothers game is coming to this. Like, it might not have come at launch, which this I think is probably other than the GameCube, other than Melee, I think this is the closest to launch that we've had for a Smash Brothers game. Could be wrong on that.
Yeah, and this is like, and I joked around before like a while ago. I was like, what if this game's delayed? But I think Brawl is the only one that's actually delayed like a few times. Just that's because they're just working on their whole like online.
They're not going to delay this game.
And that would suck. Well, like the day before, the day was like, we're pushing it back next year. I'm like, oh no, but it's too late.
I think they already
late.
did that. I think them announcing in December was not something that they wanted to do. But I feel like that's the amount of time that they're like, all right, this game was going to be done for this. Because obviously, we know this for a fact. This game had a lot less man hours than a typical Smash Bros. Game, whether that be like direct development through like completely new assets for everything,
right?
Or it being a thing of like pre-development. Because, like, a lot of, like, Smash Bros. Games usually have wide gaps. But that's not because the second they start and finish one, they move on to the next one. It's because it takes more time to, like, ruminate on, okay, where do we go next while doing other things, you know? It's like a thing of, like, well, if you have writer's block, sometimes you got to walk away from it. And you can, like, you're still working on it, but you're not, like, working on it in the same way.
Right.
So I think that, like, at most we might have that where it's like, man, I really put everything into this game, into Ultimate. What am I going to put into the next one?
Exactly.
That might give us a big gap, but I don't think it's going to be a thing of, like, I gave you what I gave you, and you got to keep it, you know? It's like...
Exactly. So you basically think, well, as far as the whole people posing, okay, this is the last one, this is it. You think
I don't buy that for a second.
You think Akira and Sakurai share that? Oh, this is it. Like, you know, how Akira was like, okay, this is I'm gonna end Dragon Ball Z here. I'm gonna end it.
No. I think Sakurai is like, I think Akira is like a different person entirely, because I think he does want to like make money. I think that's the main reason why he does Dragon Ball. Like, that's the biggest thing for him. I think for Sakurai, it's a thing of like, I want to make other things, but I'm so attached to this thing that I make. So he's like, I kind of want to step away from it because it became this thing that's so big that I have to put so much of myself into it that I can't really do anything else while I'm doing this.
Right.
But again, it's his baby. So he's like, I can't, you know, where it's like, he wants to, I think he would want Nintendo to say like, okay, we're done. Right? But he knows they're not going to do that. He knows that they're not going to like, okay, Smash Bros. Is over.
We can't let you do that, Sakurai. You know, we can't let you cut the cord on this.
Not necessarily that. I think that they would be okay with him walking away if he really wanted to. But
you're not taking Smash with you.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even up for debate. It's a thing of like, the same thing that people talk about with Itoy and Earthbound, right? Where it's like, oh, he doesn't want to do it, so that's why Nintendo's not doing it, because they're respecting his wishes. I don't think Nintendo cares in that same way.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know,
it's like Kirby. Yeah. It's like Sakurai's like, I'm done with Kirby.
Good point.
And they're like, all right, but we're not. So like, you can go and do whatever you're going to do, but we're still making more Kirby games.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, you know, they're a company, and companies are going to do things that are profitable. They want to. They see these are successful, and they're not going to just shut it off, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, Smash Brothers is, I mean, for all intents and purposes, the only you can't debate how much more successful Smash Brothers is than any other fighting game. It's the undisputed champ of fighting games. Because most fighting games, like, you look at you'll look at a Street Fighter game and it's like, oh yeah, that sold 5 million. That's pretty good, you know. That's good for a fighting game. Look at you. Whereas in like the regular world of like, you know, like these big IP with this crazy like cachet, like a Tomb Raider or whatever, right? And they're like, oh, we only sold 5 million,
right?
Right, like. Most fighting games don't succeed in the way that most other games do. Smash Brothers is going to succeed on the level of a Tomb Raider or on the level of a Mario or whatever, or even beyond that.
I was going to ask you what the numbers usually are for Smash. I haven't looked at
Smash Brothers is, I mean, it continuously climbs up, but for the past 3 entries, I think Brawl was like 11 million. I think combined together, Smash 3DS and Wii U were around 15 million.
Right.
So I think this game is it's going to at least hit that 15 million mark, but I think it's going to surpass it.
I think and correct me if I'm wrong on this, I think the only fighting game series that comes close to this is like
None.
Well, it's like maybe Mortal Kombat. Does Mortal Kombat sell like
No,
no?
no, not on that level. Like Mortal Kombat sells well for a fighting game, but nothing on that level. So I just checked up on it just to check my math. The entire franchise of Mortal Kombat. So we're talking 10 plus games, 35 million units sold.
35.
So no. Yeah, 35
Oh
million.
wow. Oh wow.
Smash Bros has done more than that, and it has what, half the amount of games?
Exactly, yeah. Wow, that's
So
crazy.
yeah, no. It's not even close.
Jeez, man.
But again, like in that arena, Mortal Kombat is like crazy, just like Street Fighter is crazy, just like Tekken is crazy. You know, like in that context, it's kind of like judging a kid's painting, right? It's like, oh, this is great because you're 6.
Yeah. That's a good point. Did you just compare Mortal Kombat to a child's macaroni painting?
Yes, 100%.
You're gonna get a hate.
But do we have another comment? Or
Yeah, we do. My bad. Multimedia player, media says multimedia player media, multiplayer media says Pikmin 1 was the first game I ever played, and it got me into gaming. As a Pikmin fan, it feels like we're having to wait forever for a new game. I said I'd set a firework off in my bathroom if we ever got an announcement in September Direct, so that gives you an idea about where I'm at with that one. I'll guess 2020 for a release. Can't see 2019, and I don't want to think about it waiting until 2021. Great video. That's a super like confident, like we're not gonna hear anything. I'll freaking shoot my ear off if we hear something about. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that Pikmin doesn't seem like the type of game that they're just going to drop out of nowhere. Like, we're going to know, but we're going to have rumblings of like, oh, this game surfaced again, and we're going to get an announcement for Pikmin 4 when we have an idea that it's happening. So yeah, I think that it's right of him to have that level of confidence with the September Direct, because like nobody, and I mean it's not, there's nothing new, like we brought up earlier, like it's nothing new for Nintendo to come completely out of left field, and like nobody's expecting that. There's nothing that supports this, but for the most part, it's like that would have been crazy. Like that would have broke the internet. And Pikmin's not even a big enough game.
Just off shock alone. Be like, what?
Yeah, just off of like, what? It's like, they're announcing that now, here?
Yeah, no. That makes me freaking, if that was to happen, I'd have so many questions. And speaking of questions, Q&A. Let's get down to you guys' questions. All right? Now, don't forget to always ask your questions in the Discord. Just ask your questions on previous Directly to You episodes. That's right. Type your comments in the bottom. We'll pull them. And we'll put them in the next episode. So there you go. Your comments will not go to waste there. I forget who made that idea, but it was really, really good. We love it.
I think it was Squanto.
Yeah, it was Squanto. Squanto, that was. Thank you, Squanto. Sam Diaz, you're the first question of the day. Says, love your channel and how much you interact with your fans. Will we ever see Logan's face? Hey! Yes, you will. And did, / if you watched the latest video I did, the Pikmin video. Had a bit freaking on camera bit there, and that will be a more regular thing going forward for my videos.
The question is, will you ever not see mine? That's what you need to consider.
To be continued.
I'm like, you had too much of a good thing. Never doing it again.
Actually, somebody commented on my videos like, your face.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I almost pulled that one.
I was like, I know. Shocker. Ricky,
that's a question we get a lot. And I think we wouldn't have got it. Like, I don't think anybody would have been asking that of us if neither one of us did it. But because I do the camera stuff all the time. Like, at this point, it's like half of my videos, if not more than half, of like the length of my videos is me on camera. So
which I did like how that transitioned into like the edit, as far as like just being able to drop that and be like, okay. Even though it was like a little bit too long for the end.
It's so much easier. Yeah, because you're not like looking for footage. If you have footage that supports what you're saying, you already got it. While you're writing it, it's like it's there, but you're not like, oh man, like what do I put here?
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, on my end, just like how I changed up my situation. The main reason why I did that is because I didn't want to edit out the green screen anymore. And like have to deal with the lighting and make sure that the lighting is like perfect. Now I can do like, you know, like mood lighting and stuff like that, and it doesn't matter because I don't have to light the background.
Exactly. I just like that. I'm carrying a lot of that stuff over to like new videos just from here on out. I'm glad the link was there. The on camera was there. The use of different music to, you know, emphasize certain moods and certain like using pause and like using black video to emphasize you know, it was just I like that video a lot. It's my favorite that I've done this year personally.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's probably, as far as like structure goes, it's probably my favorite of yours ever.
Yeah,
because it feels like the one that you put the most thought into beyond just what is this video about and what are my immediate opinions on it. It was, you thought of the video as a product, you know, like not as a product in the sense that like you thought of how to sell it, but you thought of it like, okay, what does this look like outside of like what it actually is? What is this from a sky view?
Right. And guys, AJ giving me a compliment? I got questions.
I compliment you all the time when you deserve it.
Ricky Jameson goes on to say, well, I am subbed here already, so no worries, AJ. Eyes. Giving you eyes. Here's my question. We all are expecting a very big 2019. A lot of our desires are being satisfied for more big first-party Nintendo games. Animal Crossing, Fire Emblem, Yoshi, Pokemon, technically not the first party. I don't really know. Metroid. Beyond all this, what do you think will be left for Nintendo to make following 2019? Or whenever all these big games we know of have already all been released? Pikmin 4. No, that's a good question.
I think a lot of their strategy is using all that they have at their disposal to like continue the momentum. Previously, it was harder to picture them having a better year than a crazy good year because all they had to depend on was themselves. So if they wanted to have a good year or a crazy good year, I should say, they had to put all of their eggs in one basket and release them that year. But now they're able to kind of coast a little bit where it's like, okay, we don't have to release everything that we have right now because we have these third parties. And,
that is very true.
I mean, they also have more teams overall than they would have like back in like, you know, way back when. So I think that we'll see stuff, but I've held on to like the belief that I think that Switch is going to be kind of like GameCube in the sense that we'll get a lot of weird stuff. You know, like this is the generation where I wouldn't be shocked if they said, you know what, F-Zero, we're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, we like you said, we've seen a lot of just why not, as far as like for the Switch, and you know, throwing things out there that is just that we wouldn't previously have seen it. And like I said, it's just like let's deliver to these fans. So I have no doubt we'll see.
It's kind of like they see like let's think of this in the sense of like a meal, right? Mm-hmm. They made this sauce that was made to pair with, I don't know, say chicken or whatever, right? And everybody's done with their chicken, but they like it so much that they're just eating it off the plate. Nintendo's like, all right, we can throw bread at them now. Like they're just licking the sauce directly off the plate. Let's give them whatever, you know. Like they want to play Switch so bad. Let's just give them all of our passion projects, and they're going to play those, and we don't have to worry about sales because they're going to buy it because it's a Switch game.
I smell Mario Strikers. Maybe. I'll be freaking. You know how fast I freak it up. Like, hey, gotta get a code for that. Gotta get a code for it. That'd be awesome.
Because it's like how. I mean, we talked about this earlier this week, just like internally, of like, it's harder for us to justify doing videos that we just want to do because we're not sure if they're going to perform as well as something that we look at and see that, oh, that usually performs well on our channel. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's in the position that they've been in, where it's like, well, we know these games sell well, and this platform's not doing super well, so we need to do the things that we know are going to do best. Mm-hmm. So here, on the other hand, they have a platform that is selling like crazy when really, there's not that like we're not getting a Breath of the Wild every month, but it's selling like we are.
Right, exactly.
So that gives them like, and also people are buying more games and more types of games than they typically do on Nintendo platforms. Usually, Nintendo platform is like all Nintendo games on their top charts, but now it's kind of rare that you'll see a Nintendo game at number one on the chart unless it's like 2 weeks out, you know, like for like the first maybe month and a half, you'll see the Nintendo games sit at number one on the chart. But for the most part, it's third parties and indies and stuff that take up that chart because they're also being released and people are also buying those.
Right.
Like they want new stuff to play, not just like the biggest thing that's going to come out for that year.
Yeah, exactly. And they might have that varied pool. Major Chewy. If you leaked the full roster of Smash characters, what characters would be on your list? Now this
Goku, SpongeBob, what else doesn't make any sense? But no. I would put, well, they already put Inkling. Inkling was like, I want an ARMS character in there.
Right, yeah.
I want, against my better judgment, because I know it's going to bring out the furries, I want Crystal from Star Fox.
My boy, yeah, that'd be awesome.
I want Shovel Knight, obviously.
Yeah.
I want Isaac from Golden Sun, just because.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah.
He earned it at this point, you know?
Yeah, right.
Again, selfishly, I want another Pokemon trainer. Like, I need another Pokemon trainer with a different set. 3. That's pretty. That's. I don't want to be greedy.
Yeah, I definitely like Isaac from Golden Sun, just because that'd be the game this time, or the franchise this time that has that whole like revival aspect to it. Like, let's bring this guy back and then probably give him modern a release on Switch. That'd be cool. I'd go, you know, against people gonna be like, really, more characters in that series? I put Lyn from Fire Emblem in there because I feel like Lyn's
dare you.
Lyn's
All right, you got to remove at least 3 Fire Emblem characters. Who's leaving?
Who's leaving? Okay. I like the inclusion of Chrom. I take out Robin. I take out Corrin and Ike because I never really liked Ike's play. I never. I'm
not talking about Ike.
Oh.
But the other two, you're stupid because it's like you're like, I'll keep the ones that are all the same. But these other ones, they gotta go. You know, it's like
I don't like Robin. I'm just like, Corrin, I don't like particularly. I mean, she's okay. I mean, she is it's all right. And then Ike, I'm just like, meh, you're disgusting.
Corrin's dope. First of all, Robin. I like the fact that Robin is varied. Wait. Like, it's not just another Fire Emblem character.
I gotta finish my list.
Just play the same way.
Give me a rabbit from Kingdom Battle.
I thought you were about to say Kingdom Hearts.
And then give me a Heartless from Kingdom Hearts. No, I'm joking. I don't know if the last one I'd freaking can't.
Wait, did you not say Sora?
No, I didn't. Let's not. Sora would be cool. And then
I don't want Sora in it just to spite people.
Maybe Spyro and freaking that'd be awesome. Ratchet.
If they're going to put anybody in there from PlayStation, I hope it's Spyro, but I know it's going to be Crash. Even though Crash is terrible. But
I just don't see him being a character that would even have a. That'd be like a Captain Falcon situation. Like, well, let's just pull his move list out of thin air because why not? You know, like he's gonna spin around and create boxes and jump on you. I'm like, that's boring. He's a boring move pool.
His moveset's gonna be he's gonna have to spin, and one of his attacks is gonna like his projectile. Say maybe his normal B would be him throwing boxes at you.
I'm just like,
and then I'm not gonna plan out his moveset. I don't even like Crash.
It's like, who cares? I played Isabel before I freaking played him. Oh, right.
How dare you? I'm unsubscribed.
I love all my Animal Crossing people. Yeah, I just Isabel. It's like, come on.
How dare you? And I wouldn't even be surprised if we actually did lose subscribers for that, because we have a lot of Animal Crossing viewers on our channel.
Oh man, this is great. G Baker 9000. What's your opinion on Mock Rider and Chorus Kids?
I have zero.
Me too. Oh my god, I freaking second that. Oh shoot.
Next
but no,
question.
what's Mock Rider? I don't know it.
I don't even know. I know what the chorus kids are though, but I don't know what Mock Rider is.
Oh man, that's funny.
That's why I don't care. But I mean, for the chorus kids, I just don't care because I never really got big into Rhythm Heaven. I hear it's a really good game, and I like the idea of it.
Yeah,
but it's
just like it doesn't. It's not something that's.
Put it on the Switch, and maybe I'll play.
Fred asks, "Will Deku make it into Smash?" Absolutely not.
No,
and I don't want him to be honest.
Yeah, just throw anime. I think Fred's from the Wolf Den. He's resident.
Welcome. Okay, be it, but like,
well, he's not resident Joel. He's one of the many. He's an anime dude. He likes anime a lot.
Hey, Fred, what's up, my man? Man of taste. Man of taste.
But you're betraying your very own taste because you're saying you don't want him in Smash Bros. But anyway.
Yeah, because once you let any anime character in, it opens the floodgates. They're like, now he went.
It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense because like if you want to make Smash Brothers about something, even though like they never straight up said in the modern day of like this is what Smash Brothers is, but it's kind of like a game museum. It's like here's here's a way to celebrate this medium, and they're not video game characters. They have video games, but they're not video game characters.
Maybe for the next Smash, they're gonna. Nintendo's gonna like throw a bone to everybody else and be like, okay, we've given you like our catalog and some third parties. Now we're gonna throw a bone to Sony and Microsoft and let freaking Master Chief.
They already gave us an anime character. They gave us Castlevania characters. They gave us Fire Emblem characters. Those are
they're pretty much anime characters. They have that anime style to them.
Well, Fire Emblem doesn't have anime.
It needs to have an anime to it,
but it should.
But Castlevania does.
He has anime.
Does he really?
I mean, he has those animated.
Oh, don't give me that! Cause I was so mad.
You were like actually excited.
Like, really? No, but
you're like, man, I'm gonna hit up Google, I'm looking up.
Yeah, right.
Hulu, whatever.
I'm watching that tonight.
But no, just by it's kind of that same stupid logic of like, well, he's in a video game. It's like, well, like Captain Falcon's in an anime, so it's like he's an anime character.
Yeah. K-Bop says, when we look at what Majora's Mask was in relation to Ocarina of Time in terms of development, to me, it seems like absolutely masterful design. It was made so quickly, and of course, since it reused the Ocarina engine, but it presented something fresh and packed arguably with more content. One of the major complaints, of which there are many, people have with Breath of the Wild is after a while, it feels sort of empty since there's no huge... and shrines and coracle seeds can get a little stale after hours of play. Do you think that the next Zelda can/will be to Breath of the Wild as Majora's Mask was to Ocarina of Time? And if so, in what ways will this mentality or design approach be used in this next Zelda? Oh, and #Kraid for Smash. This is a brilliant question. That was awesome.
First of all, I want to address the criticism that a lot of people have with the Breath of the Wild thing. I think it's a non-issue because most people are like, man, this game feels empty after 272 hours.
Good point. After you've squeezed out as much as the content there is. After
you squeezed out the lifetime playtime of the last Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, and Wind Waker combined, plus 100 hours. It feels empty, I guess. But on to the actual question.
That's a good point.
Yes, for a long time. I think I think I said that in a video because I did make a video.
It's probably like your first
the next Switch.
Yeah, it's a while ago. Back when we had the old branding on the thumbnails.
Yeah,
like super old.
Like long time ago. But yeah, I do think that they're going to reuse the engine, and I mean it's not even necessarily a theory. They kind of blatantly said that they would reuse the engine. I brought that up in my Pokemon video where they made Breath of the Wild with a lot of assets that they plan to continue to use moving forward. So I think that we'll definitely get a Breath of the Wild another Zelda game in the Breath of the Wild engine, whether that's a Majora's Mask or a Link Between Worlds sort of situation. I don't know. It might be something completely different altogether, because I mean, you also gotta take note of the fact that engines are a lot more diverse than they were back then. So like, there's games that are like mobile games developed in the same engine as something like a Team Fortress or whatever, Team Fortress or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. It could go either way. I think that we'll definitely get it, but I don't know exactly what that game would turn out to be. I kind of want that 2D the old school Zelda with that engine. I kind of want that.
That'd be neat. I want to see. I want to see that that design style of how they have because I like the way Zelda looks in Smash, and how they're using that link between. I want to see that type of. That'd be awesome. Like give Link that whole vibe. That'd be cool.
Yeah. People also want the Zelda 2011 tech demo. You know, like the Twilight.
Oh yeah. Right.
I'd be fine with that, but I don't really care.
Wait, I said a link between worlds. Isn't that a Link to the Past Zelda?
Yes.
Yeah, that.
I mean, both.
Okay. All right.
But
all
yeah.
right. Squandle goes on to say, I think some of these Nintendo Direct leaks and rumors before they are announced may be planned by Nintendo. They may want to stir up hype, but not have an official date announced, so people aren't disappointed when it happens by expecting too much from them from an earlier announcement. Thoughts?
No. I think that actually would accomplish the opposite of what this does, or what you would think it would if you're Nintendo, right? Where people now, because they get so hype over these leaks, quote unquote, when a direct comes out and it's not the Dream Team Direct or whatever, then they're angry. You know, it's a lot of directs. A huge part of the fan base is mad that it wasn't the direct that they wanted. So I think that there's no real way of winning that. I think that they do what they do, and it just so happens that a lot of people know how much excitement comes from the idea of directs, because they're mini E3s strewed across the year. So I think that's just people trying to get their little 15 seconds of fame off of the hype of Nintendo.
Yeah, that's very true, because it would
formally in that.
It would they'd be like, okay, we're pissing people off at this point, you know, but we don't care. We're stirring this up in general, you know, and like you said, when the direct comes out and it debunks all these things, and it's just like, wow, you know,
if anything, it would behoove them to make the direct sound worse than it is. Because at that point you'd be like, oh, this is amazing because of what, you know, because what we all the exactly like in the direct where they announced Smash Brothers, where they're like, oh, Smash Brothers is not coming to Switch. Sakurai actually means it this time. He's not.
And then they just come back with a direct troll.
And then they announce that, you know, people would be crazy hype if everybody bought into that. And if Nintendo really planted evidence to the contrary of Smash Brothers coming out, you know, where it's he's actually done. I think that would work better in their favor, and I think they know that too. So I don't think that this isn't a conspiracy.
Yeah, because that just wouldn't be cool. But it would be cool if you guys, if you like to listen to the podcast, just share it, spread the word on the podcast. And the people who it's to some of your friends that just like discussions on gaming. If you guys talk about gaming a lot and you guys want to hear other opinions about gaming, then, you know, spread the word. And
also, if you like streams, subscribe to this channel. We're probably going to do the whole game theory formula where he started those streams on the Game Theory channel and then uploaded the archives to the streaming channel, and then eventually, once this channel grows enough to facilitate the streams, we'll move the streams themselves actually streaming to the channel as well as the archive. So yeah, if you're interested in watching a stream, subscribe to this channel and ring the bell and all that good dear jazz.
There you go. AJ, final thoughts. We haven't did that in a while, actually, but final thoughts.
I haven't done that in a long time. You gotta keep your sword sharp if you've taken a stab at final thoughts.
And as always, rally for Pikmin 4. And 6 new Pokemon ideas.
No, I refuse.
Bye.